Welcome, everyone. Perhaps you have been thinking about studying Ayurveda for several years. Perhaps it's something that originally was on the periphery, and now it's become more center stage as you see Ayurveda's relevance to your daily life and the daily life of your clients or your community or other people that you would like to help in the world. So today I'm here to give an introduction to our certification courses to people who want to study Ayurveda and go deeply into it. Um, my name is John Immel, and I'm the director of the Joyful Belly School of Ayurveda. That's a picture of me. I'm also the president of the National Association of Ayurvedic Schools and Colleges. So let me just start by giving a few brief touch points on each of the courses. We have two courses, the Fundamentals of Ayurvedic Medicine and the course Mastering Ayurvedic Digestion and Nutrition. Both of these courses are entirely online, no travel required in either course. The first course, the Fundamentals course, is a 2-year program, and we'll meet 3 times a week throughout the course. And you'll also get 3 presentations that are pre recorded each week, developed by a whole team of teachers, which I always find and think of as very exciting that we get to bring the perspective of multiple teachers who brought their experience into the development of our presentations and the development of our curriculum includes over of this curriculum includes over 180 presentations. We probably spent anywhere up to 40 hours on each of those presentations. So you can imagine, huge investment, very rich program, and something that you're going to get a lot out of. So the first year of that program, you will complete the basic training in Ayurvedic fundamentals and theory. And the second year, we're going to continue with application of that theory, including you'll start meeting with other students in a consultation or clinical setting, then with outside clients, where you'll be mentored by teachers in the program. And in the second year, you'll also be learning specific applications in specific circumstances like pregnancy, postpartum, exercise routines, sense therapy, color therapy, all the different techniques that Ayurveda uses to help influence a person's state of being. So an intense program, a great program, something that you'll feel really proud of once you accomplish it. And the second course that we offer is the Mastering Ayurvedic Digestion and Nutrition program. And this course is a 500-hour, 1-year course, and it's specific for digestive tract pathology and Ayurvedic nutrition. You're going to learn everything about Ayurveda's approach to food and digestive health, elevating your knowledge and expertise in this area to a level of mastery that you would feel completely comfortable going into a room full of gastroenterologists and understanding them and being understood by them and being able to communicate yourself to a professional community in the area of Ayurvedic digestion. So the fundamentals course focuses on the whole body. You learn to see the whole person mentally, emotionally, and physically. And in the digestive course, you're going to learn the digestive tract in depth and Ayurvedic food in depth. And also you'll learn some basic Ayurvedic theory that's more general in that class as well. But students will often take both. There's very little overlap between the two courses, and frequently students will take either course first, and then follow up with the second course. This course in Mastering Ayurvedic Digestion and Nutrition, as a specialization course, it's designed to for you to make that to give you the leadership skills in integrative approach to digestive tract pathology to give you that extra bit of confidence. When you graduate from a 2-year program, the 2-year program, Fundamentals in Ayurvedic Medicine, you'll learn a lot about a lot of different parts in the body. In the specialization course, you will get to a sense of completeness about the digestive tract itself. Both of these courses are very rich immersion courses that you're going to be eating, drinking, and breathing Ayurveda for the entire time you're in the program. It's there's frequent breaks in the program, and the program. And most of our students in the program are adult learners who are juggling a job and family and a spouse perhaps or aging parents. But it is an intense program, but it's a doable program. In both programs, we're looking to help you internalize Ayurveda's approach and methods so that it's not just something you learn, but something you feel and something that you experience. And that is going to give you that insight into the client's condition. Ayurveda is not just textbook learning. In fact, the greater part of Ayurveda is getting that personal understanding of Ayurveda so that you can share it in the unique case of each individual person. Ayurveda is highly individualized, and so we need to experience it in order to give it and offer it. The goal of both programs is practical, that we are here to give you practical knowledge about the body, insightful, exciting, inspiring, practical knowledge of the body, diet, and lifestyle, and herbs, so that your clients can experience the health and vitality that Ayurveda offers. And we're also here to give you a skill that you can use to offer to the world and to your community. So that's the goal. Our goal in these courses is also to make a great name for Ayurveda and to show the world how Ayurveda can be helpful in, especially in areas like digestion, skincare, beauty, fertility, nervous system disorders. All these areas and more are areas where Ayurveda excels, and we want to bring that awareness to the world. Here's what Angela Rosoff, who graduated from our Mastering Ayurveda Digestion and Nutrition program in 2017, had to say. She said, I feel like I'm bursting with bodily awakening. My skin is more vibrant than ever. This is so powerful. At this time of year, I want to share my gratitude for being a part of this transformative education. Ayurveda truly offers a new beginning. Another student from Ohio. I am thankful and grateful for you and the creation of Joyful Belly and the digestion program. You have a stellar group of teachers, yourself included, and I feel truly blessed to have been led down this path as part of my journey. Here is a quote from a gastroenterologist who took the course. As far as the course, it has been an eye-opening experience for me as a pediatric gastroenterologist. There's so much I have been doing as an allopathic physician for the past 22 years and wish that I had stepped into Ayurveda sooner. It's not too late, however. As I grasp the Ayurvedic concept, understanding why, how, and what should be done has become easier, and I'm enjoying that very much. Thank you. I think it's safe to say that the spirit of why people are here is that they want to know the body and how it operates. The mysteries of the body are never ending. And I think what you're going to get in these programs is a foundation and a springboard for your ongoing discoveries for the rest of your life. That Ayurveda is a method, and it operates by a different principle of medicine, a different theory of medicine than modern medicine does, and in internalizing that theory or those principles of Ayurveda, you're going to have a tool that will continue to unfold for the rest of your life. So why do people take this course? Why do they study Ayurveda? They study Ayurveda because they want to create something wholesome in the world. They like to solve problems and help people improve their quality of life. They want to show people how to feel good. They have a passion for people. They want to live a life of meaning and generosity, and they have a mission to do something great with the little time they have on earth. And they see in Ayurveda something special, right as rain, something very natural. And I think everyone, by the time you graduate from this program, you'll see that Ayurveda works the way you do. That it's somehow the Ayurveda's way is the way that we approach health already, and it's something that everybody's already doing. And then we're just going to show you how to do it more and better and in a much deeper way. And so oftentimes people are inexplicably drawn to Ayurveda. They're inspired by it, and they may not be able to say why. And I've given you the hint already that by the end of the program, you'll see that that it's because it follows human nature. So people at this stage might be thinking, oh, maybe it's the tasty food in Ayurveda. Maybe they're enjoying how Ayurveda integrates physical health with spiritual health. But they start to notice that Ayurveda is something more than just a new herb to use. It's something more than just the body types Vata, Pitta, Kapha. But it's a whole way of thinking, and that's what we're going to help you get into the heart of Ayurveda. It's to help you speak Ayurveda's language. And in the beginning, it's going to be like using a new. It's going to be like using a new set of muscles. Like if you were riding a bicycle for the first time, you might not know how to keep your balance, right? You might not know the first time you get on a bicycle how it all works and how to put it together. But in the end, after you do learn it, after you do learn how to ride that bicycle, you have it for the rest of your life as a great tool for yourself and for your community. And that's what it's going to feel like learning the program. You'll have frustrating moments where you're like, everyone's getting this, but except for me. And then you'll have other aha moments where you're like, wow, okay, it's finally starting to click. And that uncanny feeling that you might have about Ayurveda, you will be able to put words to that by the end of the course, and understand exactly why it attracted you in the beginning. Another question that students ask themselves once they decide they want to study Ayurveda, the next most natural question is, well, is it a good career choice? Is this something I can do and feed my family? Is this something that my parents will be proud of after I do this, right? Um, and so important question. I have seen many people, many practitioners graduate and start a vibrant clinical practice. And I'll say what their secret is, because I've also seen students that graduate and don't end up with a vibrant clinical practice. And here's what I'm going to say: that the students who get passionate about a particular health topic that is special to them, those are the ones that do well. You see, your clients are going to choose you because you can solve a specific problem that they have. And so, if you're passionate about a particular health topic, you will be successful. And so, I tell all my students that the number one thing that separates the successful, great practitioners who are thriving and the ones that don't is their passion to solve a particular problem, and that inspires a lot of confidence in their clientele. And you see this with Western medicine also. If you see a Western medical doctor advertising their services on a billboard on the highway as you're driving down the road, they're not saying things like, "Come to me, I'm a great doctor." What they say is, "I've been treating diabetes patients for 20 years," or we have a diabetes clinic, and specialize in it, and we've helped thousands of people. And that then anyone who has diabetes, who's driving down the road, they're gonna lift an eyebrow and take a second notice and maybe contact that doctor. And I think that it's very similar in alternative medicine. Some people have the view that alternative medicine, and really it shouldn't even be called alternative medicine anymore, is somehow smaller than or a subset of the world's medical options. And I'm going to say that it's actually just the opposite. That according to the Global Wellness Institute, wellness expenditures, health and wellness expenditures, um, are more than half of total global health expenditures, meaning that people spend $7.3 trillion on their health annually, and 4.2 trillion of that goes towards health and wellness, meaning alternative medicine. And so we see more than half of global expenditures in health and wellness are going not to Western medical doctors, but to the rest of us. And this sector is growing twice as fast as the economy, and so there are lots of people doing very well in alternative health. You may be following some of them on YouTube or other media platforms. So this the market for health and wellness is trillions of dollars, and people are hungry for alternative medicine, and you see it all the time, more and more, that people are even distrusting Western medicine, and um, and I think Western medicine has to do a lot of work to rebuild that trust with the public. And at the same time, Western medicine offers something really wonderful and great too. And in our course, you'll never see us say, "Oh, Western medicine is terrible. Ayurveda is great." What we will say instead is that we always think of ourselves as part of a team, and we want to be part of a bigger circle, and we want to work with everyone in the best way possible, because it's all about the client, not about us, right? So Ayurveda, I believe, is essential, absolutely essential, for comprehensive quality of life care and to lower healthcare costs. I think it's an essential tool, and I hope that everyone comes to use it. I went to a teleconference a few years ago at Yoga Alliance, and 1,000 yoga teachers attended the conference, which is about triple what they normally get for someone hosting a presentation. I went to another teleconference at a Christian consortium of alternative healers, and 1,600 people registered on the Joyful Belly website that day. Why do I give that statistic? I give that statistic because the Ayurveda is something that's appealing to the yoga community, but not just the yoga community. That Ayurveda is something that appeals to the small towns all throughout the United States. In fact, as an online clinician, many of my clients are in those small towns because there is no one local to that small town. And if you live in a small town somewhere in the United States, you may a year from now be the only Ayurveda practitioner in that town, and doing well because you're the only person that people can turn to. And if you're in the cities, you might be thinking of specializing in a particular area, and then you'll be the only Ayurveda practitioner in your area that focuses on that particular health problem or health topic, and that gives you a great competitive advantage. So, um, so Ayurveda is a cutting edge trend. It is an area of the economy that's growing, but you can't be successful in any profession unless you're focused. We'll provide the foundation, and then you'll take it from there. We'll give you in the program skills that you can use so that your clients uh, recognize that your practice is polished, that you will give you the legal information that you need to protect yourself We'll give you the business skills to promote yourself, and we'll also be here for you after you graduate, and available to take a look at your new website or new social media page, and give you some advice on that as part of our alumni support, so that all of our students can be successful. All right, great. Well, what's unique about our courses? The first thing I'd say that's unique about Joyful Belly's teaching of Ayurveda is that we show you how to be a teacher of health. There's something different about Ayurveda from any other healing modality. Really, if you are studying Chinese medicine and then you have a client that comes into your clinic, you're not going to teach that client how to stick acupuncture needles in themselves, right? But in Ayurveda, what we do is we teach our clients how to eat when they're at home. We teach them diet and lifestyle skills. So we have to be great teachers. Every person who becomes an Ayurvedic clinician ultimately has to be great at communicating. A surgeon doesn't need necessarily to be a great communicator with their client. They have to communicate with their health team, but not necessarily with the client. But you will be communicating your knowledge to the client. That means that we have to make Ayurveda very approachable. That means we have to make Ayurveda very simple, very practical. And often you'll see that people do just the opposite with Ayurveda, is that they make it something mystical, something exotic, something otherworldly, or even from the other side of the world. But we do just the opposite at Joyful Belly. We are always attempting to make Ayurveda usable. We're always attempting to make Ayurveda relevant, and and we make Ayurveda simple for our students to understand, and we make it simple for our clients. Now, the measure of a great intellectual or a great academic is not just the ability to make something simple, but the ability to make something complex into something simple without losing any of the detail. It's the mediocre academic that can throw out a bunch of vocabulary words that put everyone into a stupor. And it's also a mediocre academic that just distills it down to something oversimplified that isn't very useful. What's really hard, and what has been the mission of Joyful Belly um, since our inception, has been to take something complex and make it simple without any loss of detail, bringing the full richness of it, but actually making it familiar, making it usable, making it practical. And only a person who has a calling to be a teacher could ever go through that labor of love. And I think there were some folks in the pre-call, Timothy and I were talking before the call started, and he was saying, oh, he loves the Joyful Belly website, and I like to think that one of the reasons why so many people love the website is because they see that we've tried to make it accessible. They see that tried to make it understandable. That when you read an article on a recipe or on an ingredient, and I can't wait, I'm going to be publishing the jackfruit article in the next few days. We just did a food lab study on jackfruit, and we hosted a call last week presenting the results of that. And then we wrote up an article, and I'm just getting ready to publish that. And once that's published, it's going to be there forever for people to come to that page and learn in a very simple way all the richness that Ayurveda has to offer about jackfruit. And we do that one step at a time. And 50 years from now, hopefully we'll get to every single ingredient. 50 years from now, hopefully we'll have educated several generations of people in Ayurveda's simple, practical approach. And so that's what I think of as the holy grail of academics, is not just the simplification of something, but the simplification without any loss of richness. not the ability to throw many vocabulary words or make something exotic or make it seem like everyone doesn't understand it except for you, but to bring together the entire group around something wonderfully practical and making it relevant for every single person in our society. Our programs are challenging, simple, easy to learn, but challenging because they're intense. Sometimes you're going to feel like, or maybe even most of the times, you're going to feel like you're learning Ayurveda like you're drinking from a fire hose. Who can drink from a fire hose, right? There'll be a lot coming at you. I had my degree. My university degree is in mathematics from Harvard University. Good academics has always been very important to me. Not grades, but good academics, right? A person who truly loves to learn and wants to make that learning into a tool for everyone. So it's going to be a challenging program. It'll be an experiential program. Even just our descriptions, go to our recipe pages or ingredient pages. We describe the health benefits experientially. It's going to be rigorous so that you have the confidence when you're done. You are going to feel like you accomplished something great when you're done. It's doable, like I said, doable for a person with kids and a job and a spouse and for aging parents that they're taking care of, because we're going to work with you. And we have a lot of breaks in the program. uh, breaks for all the major holidays and generous breaks on all the major holidays. And then, so you're going to get wonderful rest and then wonderful inspiration when we get back together, and you'll be learning every week. Let's talk a little bit about the student body. I already mentioned that I started my adult life as a mathematician at Harvard. I studied math because I thought that math would reveal truth. Math was like an art for me. The art of a good game of chess or the art of a game of Go. Or I loved learning the structure of the universe and the structure of things. And eventually I applied that analytical mindset to the structure of the body and through the use of Ayurveda and Ayurveda's model. I had severe digestive issues from years of international travel. I needed help. I had lost 35 pounds. I would have died if I didn't find Ayurveda. I'm convinced of that. And so I was personally invested in becoming a great student of Ayurveda. And I'm not alone. Other people are coming to Ayurveda because they need it for themselves. And once they have healed themselves, then they are very motivated to bring it to others. And that was my story. Other things I hear from prospective students: I'm looking to do a full-on career change, doing what I love. I want a career that fits with my life. Um, I want to help my local community. My children have grown and left the house, and I have time for myself and my own interests again. Some of our students say, oh, I'm a lifelong learner. Others say, I want to benefit myself personally and work on my own health issues. I'm looking here in the chat. I see that the slides are not showing up. Let me stop the. Let me just share it. Turn off the screen sharing and share it again. Hold on 1 second. Okay, can you see it now? Do the slides come back up? Yes, great. Sorry. Yeah, the chat box had gone behind my window, so I will try to keep that up for everybody. What kinds of uh, folks, or what vocations do people who study Ayurveda come from? Well, some of the people in the class will be nurse practitioners. Others will be yoga teachers. Others are individuals who want to become healers. Others will be estheticians, spa owners, or dermatologists who know that beauty comes from within. It's that we have to heal the whole person before their skin can glow. Our students will be medical doctors. Our students will be functional medicine practitioners and mental health and social workers. A mental health professional that works with children who have autism, and they know that diet affects the autism and the severity of their symptoms, and they want to offer something more. And our students will be folks from all walks of life who are enthusiastic about Ayurveda. How will people use Ayurveda? Well, they'll integrate it into yoga classes or retreats or in a yoga studio, or they'll teach Ayurveda at hospitals or spas or universities, or they'll cook healthy food at a cafe or restaurant. They'll integrate Ayurveda into quality of life care as a nurse. They'll write books or create movies, or they'll work in an integrative clinic offering diet and lifestyle consulting. Many people will create a private clinical practice. Others will offer Ayurveda alongside of their mental health services or their massage therapy services. Ayurveda is relevant in any situation where you're taking care of other people. People don't always know what to do at home. They might feel sick one day and they don't know what to do. Well, you're going to be a person in the community that they can turn to and that they might have learned from a year ago, and something stuck from what you said. And a year later, they suddenly understand what you meant after that 1 hour presentation that they heard or attended, or that weekend long retreat center. And and so that they will be able to take care of themselves in very basic ways, very simple ways, very effective ways. They'll know how to think about their body. All right, let's get into a little more of the meat and potatoes of the course format, just so that you can decide whether this is going to work for you. And I also want to say that you will find our staff to be very malleable and flexible with you, with just a little bit of advance notice, right? We got to separate out the procrastinators, the people who aren't getting things done, and so there are some limits to our flexibility. But otherwise, what you're going to find is if you give us some advance notice, that we are going to be able to work with whatever your situation is. And um, uh, and also that if you miss a live class, you'll be able to listen to the recording. Everything we do is recording. Right now, what I'm saying is recorded. And um, and so if you miss a live class, or you can't attend the class on Wednesday or the class on Tuesday each week, that's not going to be a problem. You're just going to be in the same boat as all of our students who are trying to juggle their life with their goals, right? Because that's what this is about, right? You're juggling your current life with your future goals, and we all have to take steps towards our future goals. Otherwise, they're never going to happen. But we've got to figure out a way to make it work with our current life, and we don't want to give up relationships in order to do that. And so we've designed the course to work for people in that situation, and we're going to work with you. And if you have any questions about that, even as I go through this course format, you can ask it after the call is done, and you can also just reach out to me and ask me what any particular format kinds of concerns that you have or compatibility with your life. And I'll put my cell phone number here on the in the chat group, which is 828-785-8213. That's country code +1. I have Telegram. I have Signal for international students that are that don't want to pay for a phone call to talk, and we can save a little save a dime and some money by talking over Telegram or Signal, and talk for free internationally. I know there's going to be a bunch of international folks on the call today and who can take advantage of that. So text me and we'll talk and I can answer your questions. But here's the format, okay? The fundamentals course, the 2 years course, 3 presentations a week that are pre-recorded. Then we'll meet 3 times to review those presentations. Each presentation will include a simple quiz that you'll fill out while listening to the presentation. And then each week, you'll get experiments to master concepts, experiments in food, herbs, or body awareness. That's all stage 1. Stage 2 is similar in terms of the number of times that we meet, but we're going to be doing many more clinical things. You'll have 80 supervised clinical encounters throughout the program. And most of those will be either the teacher presenting a client in class or you meeting with other students, and then which is that 15 buddy consultations, that brings up to 95 actually. You meeting with clients on your own and then follow-ups with those clients. You'll also be assessing fellow students in year 1 on the individual body systems. In the end, you'll get about 103 different clinical encounters before you graduate at the end of year 2. In year 2, you'll also get forms and legal parameters. You'll get tips on running a highly polished clinic, everything from how to greet your clients to dealing with cultural sensitivities and all kinds of just on from the street knowledge on how to run a polished clinic so that your clients have an excellent experience with you. Even giving them recommendations, and we'll give you forms for every single part of your clinical practice from start to finish working with the client, so that your client will have the experience of you having all your ducks lined up in a row. We'll show you how to promote your practice, and we'll also present special topics. I mentioned this earlier in today's talk. All right, what about the Mastering Ayurvedic Digestion and Nutrition program? Let me check the chat box here, make sure that. Oh, I do see a question here. One person on the call asked, how long is each class? Generally, classes are an hour and a half long in the fundamentals program. And classes will be, there'll be 1 evening class a week and 2 classes around lunchtime, East Coast time. And we found that presents options for people in every single time zone. So if you're on time zone of Tokyo time zone, then you'll be able to attend 1 live class a week, and you'll listen to the other 2 by recording. If you're in England or European time zones, you will be able to attend 2 classes a week, but one of them will be the middle of the night for you. So you'll listen to that one by recording. If you're on West Coast time, your classes will be 2 classes a week will be in the morning, and 1 will be late afternoon. And that tends to work for West Coast folks, and the East Coast folks will have an evening and 2 lunchtime. So it kind of, we staggered it in such a way that whatever time zone you're in, you can attend the program and get live time with the teachers, making sure that all of your concerns are getting addressed. Classes are an hour and a half long. In the digestion course, we meet 3 times a week, but only the evening class is an hour and a half long. The other 2 classes around lunchtime are hour-long classes. In the Mastering Digestion, Ayurvedic Digestion and Nutrition course, you're going to get 1 pre-recorded main lecture a week and 1 optional supplemental lecture. You'll get 1 quiz, 1 food or herb experiment, and 1 case study a week. And you'll also, and this causes students to shake in their knees every single year, you're going to develop a therapeutic protocol on a particular topic of interest to you regarding digestion. And then that therapeutic protocol is something that you're going to be able to share with your clients after you graduate, and you can even use that in your for your promotional materials, like, oh, buy my, my 10-step process, healing protocol for colon cancer or something like that, right? You're not gonna make a miraculous promise about your clients regarding colon cancer that could get you in legal hot water. But it's that kind of thing that you're going to be giving people. You're going to develop a therapeutic protocol that you're going to be able to use and or sell to your clients after you graduate, and that's going to give your clients that extra level of confidence that you have studied their area. I see someone's asking for my email so that they can ask further questions, and it's just john@joyfulbelly.com. I've written it in the chat group, so you have my number, you have my email. If you need to ask me any questions, I know it's a big decision. You're going to be spending a year or 2 years of your life on this, right? It's a big choice. So reach out, and I can help you decide what your mission is in Ayurveda, what would be a good fit for you, the kinds of things that you want to do with it. We can kind of troubleshoot that, and I can give you some pointers of how to make that a great career choice. Another thing that I can do too is, a lot of you I know will have to explain your choice to the significant people in your life, a spouse. Maybe you'll be changing, work hours a bit to accommodate the course, or a parent, or someone else who just cares about, how you're spending your time. Right? You're going to want to explain this well. So I can help you. For example, put together a financial plan for your future clinic that you could take to a spouse and show them, hey, this really is a practical choice. And and I've worked. I've here are all the pieces that I can show you, so that you feel comfortable that it will be practical. That I'm not just studying something from the other side of the world, but I'm putting it to good use in the following way, and that can ease the mind of somebody who's making a financial investment with you, into and a time investment into this program. So feel free to reach out, and I can help answer questions like that, that other people might have, who don't share your interest in Ayurveda, but may share your vision for health and healing, and and yeah, and so that you can connect with the others in your life. I've helped a lot of students on that level. The fundamentals course, the 2 years course, expect to spend about 12 to 13 hours a week. In the digestion course, expect to spend about 8 to 12 hours a week. Assignments and tests are graded pass fail for a non competitive and supportive environment. But I will say that we offer our top students internships when they become available. And we, of course, want to see every student doing amazingly in the program. We're going to have midterms and finals in the program. Not everyone's a great test taker. That's okay. Don't worry about it too much. Our goal in midterms and finals is that you have an opportunity to pull all the information you're learning together in your head at one time. Because when you're sitting in front of your client in the future, you're going to need to have all of that information at your fingertips to do a great job. So we want to test that. We want to test your ability to recall that information, in real time, so that you can use it, and we'll help you along the way. So don't be too worried if you're not a great test taker. But I also want to let you know that the course includes that benefit of a midterm and a final, so that you can pull all that information together and have it accessible, so that you can think creatively about it and apply it to your clients in a clinical situation. It's a convenient distance learning format. The calls will be generally attended by 20 to 40 students. You can attend lecture sitting on the beach in Florida. You can attend lecture from the comfort of your own home. You can watch the pre-recorded presentation at 5 a.m. I'm the kind of person that when I wake up in the morning, that's the time my brain is alive. I wake up at 5 a.m. and my brain is fresh and ready to go until about noon, right? So I do all of my studying, all my intense intellectual work and everything before noon. And then in the afternoon, I do my administrative work, right? Because that doesn't take the same level of mental intensity as the intellectual development does. But my wife, she's her best learning time is late at night. So she's 11 p.m. She's ready to tackle the world with her with and with her intelligent mind. And so in a program like this, you get to study those presentations at the time that your brain is alive, that you think well, and that fits for your schedule, so that you get the most out of it. And then we'll meet live to discuss things with each other. Our students are always shocked about how much community we can build online. Sometimes people think, oh, well, I wish I had gone to an in-person program, but this online one is the only thing that's possible for me. And I'm going to say that really you should be thinking the other way around. There's a reason why traditional classrooms are starting to incorporate more and more multimedia. When I was a student, I was sitting 4 rows back, and my teacher was meeting with the client 10, 15 feet in front of the class. That means I was about 30 feet from the client. And when the client stuck out their tongue for examination, I could tell the client had a tongue, but that was about it. And I didn't get an in-depth view of a client's tongue. But contrast that with this program. When you're going to see a picture of the tongue blown up on the screen, and you're going to see more detail than you could actually see even if you were looking at a person's tongue yourself. And in fact, when I meet with my clients in person, I always take a picture of their tongue and bring it up on the screen so that me and the client can see the tongue better, and the client doesn't have to sit there with their mouth open while I'm analyzing their tongue, right? So online learning has been shown to improve retention rate, and we can make rich use of multimedia. So I wouldn't think of online learning as an alternative to in-person learning. I would think of it as the golden standard of learning. And you will develop a community in this program and be sharing lots of information with your fellow students, so that maybe in your small town you don't have a huge community of people that know or are interested in Ayurveda. Well, through this program, you will have a group of people that share a similar interest from you as you do. So expect to be challenged. Expect to be heard by other students and by your teachers. Expect to be valued, encouraged, and supported throughout the development in the course. We have, because online education is everything we do, we have all kinds of back end things that we have to make sure that if a student is falling through the cracks, that we can catch you, and that we can give you good feedback on things. Remember, I have my degree in computer science and mathematics from Harvard, so I put that to good use in designing this program and in designing the whole website, really. So there'll be that back end support for you, as well as the front end content that you will be experiencing. Let me pull up how to register. I'll pull up the page here, and also costs. Now, I am planning a tuition increase for the fundamentals course, uh, uh, perhaps even $1,000 increase in tuition. And I'm still finalizing that tuition increase will probably come March 1st, or at least by March 15th. So it's 6,499 for the 2 years right now. I think that's a steal. That's about half of the cost of other similarly, other high end schools, and so I think it's a great That's going to be just a great, a great rate for 2 years of learning. The digestion course at 4,499, also really competitively priced. Where can you get an education and a certification for that? I think it's really worth it to have that the rest of your life, even just for yourself. We some people are spending that more than that every year on their insurance without knowing anything additional about their own body, and so that 6,499 comes out to about $250 a month. Now the digestion, which is less than groceries for most people, the digestion course, it depends on when you sign up the monthly rate. If you sign up early, we can spread out your fees so that the last month, the month you graduate, is when you finish paying it off, and that can get our monthly costs down quite a bit from that. Uh, so think about, if you have any questions about finances and things like that, of course, also reach out again. You can see my cell phone here, 828-785-8213, country code +1. And I see that someone has typed it into the chat box as well with my email. So we do have monthly payment plans, but you can also save money by paying the whole amount up front. So you'll save $250 on either course by paying up front, or the monthly payment plan to have the prices that you see here. All right, let me show you on Joyful Belly where you would register. So you come here, you click on wellness courses, and then you click on the course you want: Fundamentals of Ayurvedic Medicine, Mastering Ayurveda Digestion. And then you just click this big orange button here, um, to register for $250 a month. And same with the digestive course. So that's how you know to get there. And if you do want to pay the whole amount up front, then you just email me. After you sign up, you'll get contacted by our staff, and they'll set you up. There's some preliminary course materials and even some lectures, previews of presentations that we'll give you in advance, just so that you're not sitting around waiting 6 months for the program to start. The fundamentals program starts the last week of August, and the digestive course starts the second week of October. But we'll give you course information and some classes that you can start before then, and we're going to give you reading material as well. Anything that you can read before the first day of class, it just means you're going to absorb Ayurveda at a deeper level than your classmates. When I was a student at Harvard University in the summer, what I would do is I would buy all of the math books of the Yale professors for the courses I was taking, and the computer courses, and I would read those books. I love reading about math, so I would read those books in the summer, and then when all of my classmates were struggling to get through classes in the fall, I kind of already knew the material, and it was really easy for me, and I learned it at a deeper level than other students. So with that, I want to wrap it up there. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. That's how to register. Let me turn off the mute and open up the discussion so that people can ask questions. Hold on one second. Okay, great. So thank you, everybody, for loving the human body, loving health, and everyone who comes here and who's interested in Ayurveda is bringing great things to their community. And I also want to give you a special thank you for coming to Joyful Belly to learn and discover Ayurveda. So what questions do you have?
Hi, John. This is Anu.
Hi, Anu.
Hi. Yeah, I had a question regarding the different offerings. And understand that people may have a lot of different outcomes after they take the course. So I was just curious, can you give like maybe an example of the difference as far as how a practitioner may actually practice in the real world after taking either the 750 or the 500-hour course?
You mean
Um,
the difference between the two courses, or the difference from other kinds of careers?
oh no, the difference between the two courses.
Oh,
For
okay, great,
example, like what
great.
kind of practitioner may they become? I'm kind of
Yeah,
leaning towards the 500-hour nutrition focus course.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so you're you're touching upon a few areas. The first thing that I want to mention is the issue of scope of practice and licensing. And to that effect, I want to say that Ayurveda practitioners, in the end, are educators in the eyes of the law only. You're not going to be a medical doctor or licensed to practice medicine in either course. Only a medical doctor can practice medicine. But what we do as Ayurveda practitioners is educate our clients. And so, from a legal point of view, in both courses, you have the same legal scope of practice as a health coach. That it doesn't, you can't do surgery, um, uh, but but you can educate your clients about health in general, and also in specific. So a client will come to me and I will assess them ayurvedically, and then at the end of it I won't say things like, oh, take this, using colon cancer as an example. I won't say, oh, take this herb and your colon cancer will disappear in a month. I would never say something like that. Instead, what I'll say is things like, oh, in Ayurveda for Vata, and Pitta people, this herb is the one that typically is most balancing for their doshas, or this is the herb that Ayurveda would traditionally use for that. So that I'm educating about what Ayurveda does, and our clients make the choice based upon our expert education to them. And I find that language to be appropriately humble, even for any practitioner. Even for a Western medical doctor, I don't think I would tell somebody, take this medication and your symptoms will disappear, right? Instead, what I want to be is somehow working, that the client and I are participating together to come up with the recommendations for them, and that the client is ultimately the one making the choice, not me. So that's true for both courses. Now, the difference between the two courses is that in the digestive course, you're going to be specializing in digestion, and you're going to be specializing in food. You're going to know food and you're going to know digestion. So a client will come to you and they'll show you their diet, and you will be able to modify. You'll be able to suggest them a diet that would be more compatible with their body type and their imbalances. They will also come to you with things like, maybe they have colon cancer, or maybe they have irritable bowel syndrome, or maybe they have gallstone, they have sludge in their gallbladder, and you will be able to offer them Ayurveda's approach for that. What you wouldn't be able to do in the digestive course is be able to speak meaningfully about Parkinson's disorder, or dementia, or even skincare. Now, digestion affects the beauty of your skin, and so in that sense, you'd be able to help a person coming to you for skincare and beauty issues. But ultimately, you're not going to be an expert on skincare if you're taking a digestive course. You're going to be an expert on digestion. Now, the fundamentals course is giving you broad knowledge on all of these things, but not great depth on all of these things, right? We give you a ton of information, but there's a difference between a person who studies digestion in the fundamentals course and a person who, where it's a chapter in our studies, and a person who spent an entire year focused on digestion. Now, if we spent the entire year focused on digestion, we couldn't also focus on respiratory tract and nervous system and circulatory system and adrenals and kidney. and urinary tract and reproductive, and you can go down the list. Each of those could be a full year study in their own right. So because of the sheer volume of information, we there's a limit to the depth that we can get to in the fundamentals course, even though, like I said, it'll be an intense program, a rich program, and you're going to learn a ton in it. But there's still just a fundamental, difference between the two. So in the Ayurveda Health Counselor course, your scope of practice is balancing the whole individual, right? That instead of very, very detailed disease specific knowledge on colon cancer, what you'll be doing is balancing their whole constitution. And also, I hope that everyone who graduates will be developing disease specific knowledge as they continue to grow after the course is over. Does that help answer your question? One is breadth and the other is depth.
Yeah, that
Great.
absolutely helps. I guess just as an example, I've been through an Ayurvedic assessment. The let's call it the prescription or the diagnosis is kind of in the form of a Prakriti and a
Yeah.
Vikriti.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious, will both courses offer the ability for a practitioner to be able to ascertain, if you
Yeah, you will
will,
be able to assess their imbalance and their body type. Yes.
great. Well, that's really helpful. Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And also, we have tons of tools on Joyful Belly that you can use to help in that process, even with your clients. And we'll show you how to use those effectively in the course. What other questions do people have?
John, this is Becky. You were
Hi, Becky.
talk you were talking about that the fee would go up. I'm
Oh,
registered.
all of a sudden, Becky, your voice got really faint. Can you move close to the microphone and let me know your question again?
I'm sorry. What I was asking is I have already registered for the course,
Uh huh.
and I was wondering, is that going to change the price? You were talking about the
No,
price was going to
no.
go
If
up.
you register before the price increases, you're locked in.
Okay. The other thing I have is I am in the process of doing my application. And on the application, there's a few PDFs that I'm supposed to be able to access, and I have not been able to access those.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would contact support at joyfulbelly.com if you're having trouble with that, and they will get that to you.
Okay, I've sent them an email, but I have not heard back from anybody
When did
yet.
you send the email?
I think that was yesterday.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. So they'll get back to you. Allow up to 24 hours for them to get back to you, especially on a Monday because students had midterms on Sunday, and so I know student support is answering lots of questions and things like that. So they may be take them the whole 24 hours to get back to you.
Okay, I just know I was supposed to have everything done within 7 days, and so I was trying to make sure that I got all my
Oh
ducks.
no, you're fine, Becky. The we get a lot of people who apply the week of classes, and then it's there's a little bit more of a there's a little bit more of a quicker turnaround time. But you're fine. No worries about that at all, Becky. There's plenty of time for you before the course starts to get that information in. I get it in right away because then you can just move on from that. But there's no issue with you being a few days behind on that this at this stage of the game. We have months and months before the course starts.
Okay, I was just wanting to try to get everything in order because, like, I know that there is a possibility that some applicants may not, get approved. So I was just trying to make sure that I had everything submitted so that I
Yeah.
knew if I had been accepted to the course or not.
Yeah, towards the sign up date, the course can fill up, and then it's an issue that can be an issue. But for right now, you'll be fine, Becky. And I'm very excited that you are on it and organized and getting that done. I think that is a sign of a great student.
All right. Well, thank you so very much, John. I'm glad I got to talk to you today.
Yes, yes, and feel free to reach out with any other questions. You have my cell phone, so just text me anytime. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. And I see another question here. Are there any prerequisite courses, such as university anatomy or physiology? Both courses will include a lot of anatomy and physiology from the Ayurvedic perspective. And and so as you're going through the digestive course, you will get presentations on all the basic digestive structures. As we go through the fundamentals course, you will also get detailed presentations on how Ayurveda approaches each aspect of the anatomy. So that will be included in the program. There is a prerequisite for the Mastering Ayurveda Digestion and Nutrition program. So I'm glad you asked that. Um, and that prerequisite is for people entering into that course, they have to have some kind of health and wellness practice already. And that could mean that they're a yoga teacher, it could mean they're a massage therapist, it could mean that they're a mental health worker, or they but what we're looking for in the digestive course is that our cohort, our group, is contributing a lot to the uh, to the program. And every year, you're gonna be in that course, the digestive course, with doctors. You're gonna be in that digestive course with acupuncturists and with other professionals. And so we're looking for people who have something to bring to the table in that course, and that it's not just their first rodeo in health and wellness, just because of the specialized nature of the program. And so that is a prerequisite. Now, there have been times where I've let people into the course who haven't met that criteria, and that's only when they can show that they have a long-standing interest in health and wellness. For example, one prospective applicant sent me a photograph of their bookshelf, and I looked at the titles and asked them questions from those books because I had read most of them, and I asked them questions about their level of knowledge, and I could tell that this was a dedicated person who had been following this for quite a while, and then I let them into the program. So there is some prerequisite for the MID program, just given the specialized nature of it. So thank you for asking that question. Now, Angelina's asking about the main certifications worldwide. So there's a trend in the United States currently to talk about Ayurveda health counselors versus Ayurveda practitioners versus Ayurvedic doctors. That distinction is not a legal distinction. It's not something that the government recognizes, and it's not something that anyone really it's not there's not like a one way of doing that, but there are several different certification organizations that kind of each define that in a different way, and you don't even need to go to any other. You don't even need to necessarily get a go to any third party group that's defining those kinds of things. When you graduate from the Joyful Belly program, we will certify you as an Ayurveda health counselor or Ayurveda digestive health coach, and you can start seeing clients legally without any further ado. We are also recognized by OPNA, the Association of Ayurvedic Professionals of North America. We're recognized by AADP, which is the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. We're accredited through them, and so that you can get a health coach certification through them by taking their exam when you're done with our programs. You could also, I'm also, as I mentioned earlier, the president of the National Association of Ayurveda Schools and Colleges, and so um, there are some industry wide kind of standards around that, and our program, the Ayurveda Health Counselor program, fits that. The specialization program in digestion, that is a specialized program. There's no one else that even offers another program like that in the United States, and so there isn't any like group standard around that because it's unique to Joyful Belly, uh, and but again, that course is registered is recognized by OPNA and AADP, and also we are a state licensed school, so the state recognizes and has approved of us offering these programs to the public. So hopefully, Angelina, that helps to answer your question around that. In India, the certifications are totally different. In India, it's a 4-year degree with an internship, like a medical doctor in this country, and those are called BAMS students. And then in some other countries, there are some regulations around Ayurveda that, like South Africa, for example, and other countries. So you want to check on your local country laws. Any other questions? Well, thank you. You've been a great group. Some great questions. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to provide that clarification on those questions that you have. I look forward to being in touch. Feel free to reach out. As I mentioned, if you sign up before the price increase, you will get the price will be locked in to the current rate. So reach out before you make the decision if you like, and I can talk about any other questions that you might have, or help you um, clarify your mission, or the financial goals that you could and plan for your future clinic, things like that. So I look forward to meeting each of you, and hope to see you in class. And take care, everybody.